Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me for this short flow that will focus on movement for your shoulders. So simple movement that will help with the mobility and just overall general health of your shoulder joints. You won't need any props today other than something that you can use to support your head. So a cushion, pillow, or a yoga block. And you can use that right now as well, just to have a seat as we'll get started in a seated position. So maybe wanting to elevate the hips here. So just find a comfortable seat and then just take a few moments to direct your attention inwards. Maybe slowly lowering the gaze down or closing the eyes completely here. And beginning to just deepen the breath, extending the length of each exhale. And just notice the positioning of your spine here. So just feel your sit bones on the ground. Shoulders above the hips. Ears above the shoulders. Crown of the head drawing upwards. Finding lots of length. Nice tall posture here. Arms are relaxed, and just take a moment to roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Finding some width between the collarbones here. And take one more deep breath here and let that go. And then you can slowly blink the eyes open. We're going to come to a laying down position here. So this is where you'll want something for your head. So grab that now, and then we'll just meet on our side with our knees directly out in front of the hips and bent at a 90-degree angle. So make yourself comfortable here. Just have your palms together. And then we'll start by reaching that top arm up and over on an inhale, and then reaching back behind you. And then exhaling, we'll bring the arm back over. And just moving with your breath here a few times, opening, finding some space through the front of the body, and then exhaling to close. Bringing the arm as far back as feels comfortable for you. We don't want to push it or force anything here. And the next time your palms come together, take that top arm and start to sweep it overhead like you're drawing a rainbow overhead. And then bring it back on your exhale. 2 more times. And same thing here, if you're feeling any discomfort or pain in the shoulders, just maybe back out of this and go the opposite way with the arms. Or maybe bring the arm a little bit higher off the floor. Good, and then just bringing the palms back together. We're going to just take that top arm and reach the palm away from you. So sliding that top palm away, finding space between the shoulder blades, and then come back to center. And then we'll do that 2 more times. And you can either keep your head down or lift the head here, whatever feels more comfortable. Good. And then we'll just roll onto our back. And then we'll take our arms into cactus arms. So you've got a 90-degree bend in your elbows, if that's okay for your shoulders. If not, you can just have the arms straight here. And then we're just going to slide the arms up overhead, just keeping the arms hovering off the floor to whatever height feels comfortable for you. And then bring them back down. And again, just paying attention to how this feels in the shoulders. Maybe taking a little mental note here of keeping your front ribs back and down so we're not splaying through the ribs as we do this. Good, last one here. Good. And then we're just going to roll on to the opposite side for those open books one more time. So again, just adjust yourself here. Find something to make yourself comfortable for your head and your neck. And then when you're ready, begin with opening on your inhale, reaching that arm back behind you. Exhaling to come forward. And to really keep this movement isolated to the shoulders and the upper back, thinking of keeping the hips stacked, especially as you reach back behind you. See if you can kind of glue the knees together. Noticing if there's a lot of movement happening there with the hips shifting, that's compensating a little bit for a lack of range of motion here. And that's okay, but just noticing. Good. And the next time your palms touch, start to bring that top arm overhead in that rainbow arc. And then back around. And just taking some nice big deep breaths in as you come back behind you. And a long exhale as you come forward. And then taking the palms together when you're ready, slowly start to slide that top palm forward, finding that width between the shoulder blades, and then come back. Good. And then we'll just take that top arm and press ourselves up to a seat here. And then we'll come onto hands and knees. So you can move your blanket or whatever you had out of the way. So finding yourself in a tabletop position with your shoulders over your wrists and your hips directly over your knees. And we'll start to move through a couple of rounds of cat-cow here. So on your next inhale, think of bringing the chest forward, tailbone up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, pressing through the hands, rounding through the spine, chin towards chest. Inhale to come forward, thinking of creating length along the back of the thighs here. Exhale, pressing strongly into those hands, belly in towards the spine. Moving through this at your own pace, matching the movement to your breath. Good, one more round. Good, and then we'll come back to neutral. And then we're just going to take our hands quite a bit wider. So still in tabletop, but bring the hands nice and wide. And then you're just going to start to dip one shoulder at a time. So we'll bend into that right elbow as the left shoulder dips down. Come back up to center. Exhale over towards the left. And just move back and forth through this. Feeling into that stretch through the front of the shoulder as you dip down. And we'll end going towards the left side. And then just come back up to center, bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders. From here, we're just going to take a few scapula push-ups. So we're going to keep the arms straight and just allow the chest to dip down and then press strongly into the hands to find lots of width between the shoulder blades. So just moving up and down. I like to inhale as I come down and exhale as I come up. So it's almost like we're coming into that angry cat spine as we press into the hands. And then that cow spine as we dip the chest down and forward. Just a couple more here. These can be such a great way to get into that upper mid back. It gets a little sticky in there. Good. And then just step your left leg forward, coming into a low lunge, cushioning that back knee if you need to. And then we'll take our left arm up towards the ceiling, just opening up into a gentle twist here. And then start to circle that arm forward and back and around. Just moving through this a few times, keeping your breath flowing. And then you can either continue with that if that's feeling really good, or you can start to vary the movement of your arms. Maybe you want to reach across the body like you're reaching for that top right corner of your mat. And then maybe you want to kind of twist back towards the opposite corner. So just kind of find some intuitive movement here for the shoulder. Maybe you want to combine the reaching with the arm circles. If that right hand is getting a little tired or sore, the wrist, it's too much for the wrist, just come up onto your fist. Good. And then we'll bring our hands down to frame that front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift that back leg, and step back into downward facing dog. And we'll just take a few moments here, pressing strongly into the hands, thinking of wrapping your shoulder blades around the sides of the body here. So keeping those arms and shoulders very active here, creating some stability in the shoulder joints. Good, and then start to shift forward, shoulders over wrists, bring the knees down, and then untuck your toes, bend your elbows, and slowly lower all the way down to the belly. And then from here, we'll come into locust. So just keeping the hands hovering just underneath the shoulders. On your inhale, you'll lift the head and shoulders off the mat. Exhale to come down. One more time. And then coming up once more on your inhale, either staying here and breathing, or maybe you want to lift the feet off the mat as well. Arms can come out to the side or reach back behind you. Keeping the breath as even and steady as you can here. And then on your next exhale, slowly lower everything down. Place the hands under the shoulders to press yourself up onto the knees. And then tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. One more time. Again, thinking of that wrapping action, almost like you're clutching something underneath your arm. You don't want to drop it. Inhale, come forward, bring the knees down. And this time you're going to step your right foot forward, coming into that low lunge. Left hand stays on the floor, and then open that right arm up into a twist. And then start to circle the arm. And then maybe you want to add some different movements for the shoulder joints. Maybe reaching across the body and then back behind you. Notice if you're feeling a difference from one shoulder to the other. Sometimes we get little noises or feelings of kind of clicking or popping. So just as long as there's no pain, it should be okay. Good. And again, we'll step it back into downward facing dog. Maybe you want to pedal out the feet here, or bend the knees deeply and then straighten the legs. And again, we'll shift forward, shoulders over wrists. Maybe you want to stay here in a plank for a moment if you want to work on some strength for the shoulders. You can always do this with your knees down as well. If not, you can come out of this completely by just bringing the knees down, and we will meet in child's pose. If you're in plank, just staying here for one more breath. And then we'll bring the knees down and come back into child's pose, and maybe bring the knees a bit wider, toes come together, and just allow yourself to rest down into child's pose with the arms extended out in front of you, forehead to the ground, and just sending your breath into the back of the body here. One more deep breath here. And then slowly begin to walk your hands back so that you come upright, just sitting onto your heels. Take both of your arms out in front of you, and we'll cross the left arm over the right. We're going to come into eagle arms. So if you know eagle arms, you can come right into it, or just backs of hands to each other, or even just interlace your fingers together with the forearms together. Either of those are going to be great. We're just creating some space in the back, the upper back between the shoulder blades. So coming down into that child's pose again one more time, just folding forward, and then just resting your forearms on the floor here. Keeping the back of the neck long. So just allowing your head to relax here. Maybe you want to turn the head side to side a little bit. Staying for one more breath. And if you do have eagle arms, you'll unwind or unclasp and then slowly come back up. And again, reaching the arms forward. This time, right arm comes over left, or take any of the other variations I mentioned before. And again, we'll just come forward into a little bit of a fold here. And the more you press your arms down into the floor, the more you're going to feel that expansion between the shoulder blades. Again, maybe you want to find a little bit of movement for your head and your neck here. Filling up the lungs with breath one more time. And maybe exhaling through the mouth here. Good. Unwind the arms. Come back upright. Next, we'll find a comfortable seated position. So again, if you want to sit on something, you can grab a blanket or a cushion here. And you can either be kneeling or cross-legged, whatever works for you here. And we'll just take our right arm just at a right angle here, so our elbow is at 90 degrees, and reach your left arm behind you, so back of hand towards the back. And then you're just going to reach for that right bicep and clasp onto it if you can. If not, you're just reaching towards it. Just finding a little bit of opening for the front of the chest here, the front of the shoulders. And if you'd like to add to this a little stretch for the neck, you can take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Maybe close the eyes here. Sensing into any sensation you're feeling in the shoulder or the front of the body, the neck. Good. And then on your next inhale, you'll bring the head back to center if you did bring the neck over. Unclasp the arms. Maybe just take a little shoulder roll back and down. And then same thing opposite side. So 90-degree bend in that left elbow. And then reach back to clasp the left arm with the right hand. So same thing here, option to add in that stretch for the neck with the left ear over towards the left shoulder. You can add a little bit of movement as well. Maybe take the chin down towards that left shoulder and then back. And then one last breath here. And again, slowly bring the head back up to center and then release the arms. Again, just taking a couple of shoulder shrugs up and down. And then maybe we'll go in the opposite direction, moving the shoulders forward, down, and back. Good. And then from here, I would encourage you to take a short or long Shavasana if you have the time, or this would be a great time to sit in meditation. If you're new to the practice, just start with a few minutes and see where that takes you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that your shoulders feel better after this practice, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.